The Avs might not have a pebble anymore, but they still need to be rock solid. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
On this pregame show, we'll talk about what Pierre-Edouard Bellmare being released means for the Avalanche lineup, and we'll also see if they want to tune it up a little bit as they take on the Vegas Golden Knights for their 5th preseason game. Let's start the show.
It's the DNVR pregame show from the Toyota Lounge, brought to you and presented by your local Front Range Toyota dealers. And the pregame show is brought to you by delicious, refreshing Mountains Are Blue Cold Coors Light. There's a few of those in our future. What's up, everybody? This is my first pregame show. I'm going to like this a lot.
Let's go. It's a fun time.
I got Rudo. I got Big E with me. Don't knock over the drinks already, buddy. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll be all right. We'll make it through. It's apple juice, yeah. I don't know how I'm supposed to follow up what you just did, though. Well, I'm starting to rub off on you a little bit here.
You got to have a little fun with it, you know.
Well, I got the crayon on. I figured it out.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it.
You should try and read his pregame notes. Unreadable.
Is your handwriting brutal? I don't think
it's so bad.
Is it not good?
Mine's terrible.
Is it? Oh, geez. All right. I think I have pretty good handwriting. We'll have to throw that up in the chat at some point and see who's got the best handwriting. But what's up, everybody? Gismo with you. Happy to be here. Vegas Golden Knights tonight. We'll see. I was a little caught off guard, and we'll talk about that. Obviously, a little caught off guard by the Pierre-Edouard Bellmare news. I was on an airplane back from Boston on a rip-roaring 24-hour trip. But, I mean, we're going to get to it later, but we might as well start to talk about it a little bit. I mean, just instant reaction.
Surprised for sure, yeah.
I mean, Eric and I had a not heated debate about this earlier, but I don't understand. He looked great. I mean, I get it, I guess, but help me, Eric. You're the management and NHLer, so I don't know. I'm just confused. I guess here's why I'm confused. Then you can give me your point. I'm confused because it seemed like it was going so well. The language from everybody was like, yeah, this is a done deal. Even Pierre-Edouard Bellmare, who was very reserved at the beginning of this about it and very cautious not to take it for granted, started to ease into it. And now I saw it on the plane and I was like, I didn't even have any whiskey. And I was like, the heck, is that right? And I couldn't open it because the Wi-Fi was down. So I had to text Eric and I'm like, did they just release him?
Well, listen. Yeah, I'm like everybody. I thought it was a great option when we saw the PTO this summer.
Yeah.
I like what I saw. I like, listen, the leadership, the teaching and all that stuff, especially with Cogs gone and all that kind of stuff and Jack Johnson. And so I thought that's why I was looking at it that way, where I was a good fit. I think it's perfect. He's been here, knows the system. I think what played against him was his age and, maybe the foot speed was whatever. Maybe I think AJ, I'm going to use AJ's point, and you should go read his article too on it. It was pretty awesome at DNVR Avalanche. But, I think that maybe a little gun shy from Rigel last year. Not that it's the same players, but, when you're dealing with a different kind of foot speed, I'm not saying it was bad, but it's not fast. I don't think he did anything wrong. I thought he had a spot locked up as well. But they saw it differently. And then, is it Parker Kelly now? I'm going to have to zero in on them tonight, just to see how he does a fourth-line center. By the way, supposed to be an unbelievable team guy. Everybody raves about him, from equipment guys to medical guys to PR guys. Apparently a good soldier, a good citizen, a good locker room guy. I don't know. I haven't really keyed on him. I was looking more at Bellmare because I thought in my mind that was it. Or is it going to be something else? Is it TJ Tynan at 6? I don't know. We'll see. Or do they have something up their sleeve? Who knows? We'll see. I know you have something to say about it, so I'm going to leave it at that. And, for me, it's not going to make or break the season for the Avalanche, but I did like him. I would have liked to see him. Maybe they have a better option. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell.
And we'll dig into it more. You and I talked about it in hockey and the Rockies. Just your quick, 10-second take on it. Because, I audibly on the plane today from Boston was like, what?
Yeah, I would say surprised for sure. Thought he had the job locked up. My one thought on it, other than what I'm going to talk about later, the last time the Ams tried to run it back with a couple of guys was Carl Soderberg and Patrick Nemeth in the COVID year, and it went terribly. So I wonder if that maybe played on their minds a little bit.
Great point, by the way.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to talk about it more. We are at the DNVR Bar down on Colfax. It is popping. Drink specials, whatnot, happening right now. Great food. If you're looking for a place to watch the hockey game, come on down, check it out. Everybody's hanging out. We're here upstairs, but we'll meander down and say hello, of course. So come hang out, watch the game tonight. Puck drop is at 8 o'clock. Late one, obviously, there on the West Coast. We'll be with you here all night long. Rudo, let's talk more. Let's get into some game notes here and kind of just, why don't you lead it off for us? What are you looking for out of this one tonight? Because as we get down to the crux of it, Coach has alluded to the fact that these rosters are going to look very much more similar to what's going to happen on a game day. He's also going with the team bonding move by, keeping them on the road and not coming back tonight after the game.
Yeah, I mean, look, in theory, this should be close to an NHL game. Now, what percentage of pace will some of the top guys be going at? We'll see. Drouin's first game, maybe he's only going 70, 60, 80%, something like that. But the key thing for me to look at is that second line for Colorado. You're getting a chance to see Ritchie, one, with a quality man in the middle in Middlestat, and two, more importantly, against real NHL competition. Some of these earlier games, you've seen Ritchie get to play against AHL level guys.
That's right.
Tonight, he's going to have to face real NHL guys. We talked about it before with Ritchie. His second preseason game was probably a little too floaty, particularly in the defensive zone. Let's see what he looks like going full bore against the top level of competition. And then more curious to see what Colton looks like on the other wing. I don't know how real that actually is, but if it looks good, maybe there's something there.
I'm looking forward. I just said it. I'm showing my cards. I'm looking forward to Parker Kelly. I want to see what he's got. Like I said, not by any disrespect. I just haven't paid attention to him. I'm being honest. I was looking at Cal Ritchie. I'm looking at options, at Bellmare. And then I'm like, I just desperately want him to split Mikko and Nate and, whatever. But tonight, I think it's more. Here's what I'll say. Yesterday at practice, they were a little delayed, about 45 minutes from start of practice. And I'll tell you one thing. I saw him get on the ice. Coach, the hat was on, and the pace of practice right away was like bang, bang, bang. And then they got into some 5-on-5 stuff, and that's where Brandstrom got, hit a little bit by Woody. And, again, Brandstrom's fine, by the way. He's all good. So he was full participant at practice today. I do believe he's playing. I don't remember, but he's fine. With that said, I think not because he doesn't like the results of preseason, Coach Bednar, but I think it's more like, hey, guys, we have 4 days left, kind of, 2 games. Let's play the right way. I don't give a schneizkies about the score, but let's get going here on the process of a game. Let's play the right way. And at the end of the day, let's have a better showing than we've shown the last few days. I think he was disappointed with the showing of some guys. I think he said it in his presser. He would have liked a little bit more push for some guys that were sent down. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's be honest. I think he was disappointed. We were disappointed. But with that said, now it's who's left and what it is. And there's some roster spots that guys have to figure out if they want to jump in at them. And that's what I'm going to look for tonight. Cal Ritchie, how does he adapt? How does he do? How is he going to, like you just talked about, and let's say he gets stuck out there against Jack Eichel, things like that. You better be on your game because it's a different game than playing for the Oshawa Generals or wherever, in junior hockey where he's been playing the last few years. So I'm looking forward to that. I think that coach wanted to have a good 2 games and also a good little team bonding, like you said. Let's get together. Let's get ourselves ready to go here before our rosters due Monday.
Also, T-Mobile Arena is an intimidating place to play. Cal Ritchie has not played in that environment yet. I mean, there are some OHL barns like London that certainly can pack a crowd in and get a little excited, but he's not experienced.
They don't
what
pack
T-Mo-
18,000 in
T-Mobile
London.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a full NHL crowd down there.
Yeah, and it's a different vibe in that arena as well. Love seeing everybody in the Toyota chat. Definitely stick with us, and obviously we'll be doing the watch along afterwards as well. But get through these games without injury, Jeremy. I hear you. It's been a weird one out there. I mean, nervous times.
Yeah,
Nervous times. It's like there's like a black cloud kind of hanging over it, and. Dom, yeah, we're going to talk about that in a little bit for sure. We just kind of touched on Bellmare, but we'll hit on that during our decisions factor. In terms of other game notes, Rudo, what are you wanting to see goaltending wise?
Look, there should be a reasonable team-wide effective defense in front of the goalies tonight. So if you give up a bunch of high-danger chances and they get a bunch of goals scored on them, I don't care. But I want to see a goalie that looks ready. We talk about the Avs goalies when they're at their best, square to everything, right? They're not the scrambler type of goaltenders, really, when they're playing their best hockey. So I want to see a guy square to pucks, don't give up at nearly as many rebounds as we've seen from both of them, to be both the starter and the backup, that is, in this preseason so far. I'm not putting a lot of stock in that, but you want to see, hey, the Avs play in, 6 days is opening night, so you're inside a week. Start to lock in a little bit.
And again, we'll hear it about our little segment coming up, but I refrain from talking about it because I talked about it on the segment, and I do touch up on the goalies too, so we'll hear about it a little bit later.
Yeah, we don't have to reiterate ourselves too much there. What do you think about? And then we can move on to Big E's 3 keys. But what do we think about the move to go on the bonding aspect of it? I like it. I like it by Bednar. I really do.
Yeah, the Avs this year end up being at home quite a bit to start the year, so they don't really have that early season road trip to do it on. So getting it in a little bit during the preseason makes sense.
I mean, they're playing there. They flew this morning, right? We were at morning skate. Again, we talked to KC Middlestad about his wingers tonight and all that stuff. So go check that out as well. But we also, they're playing the game and then flying right to Utah, and then I think they hang out in Park City for a couple days, and which is nice, and then get to know each other, go on a team dinner, all that kind of stuff. I think it's important. It's an aspect that is so sometimes forgotten by some people. You live with those guys 24/7 for 8 months, 9 months coming up, so it's important to get to know one another. You want to start on the right foot, and what better ways to do it than being on the road and no distractions. Not that your wife and your kids are distractions, I'm saying, but your full attention is to be with the fellas and get to know one another. So it's awesome.
Yeah. All right, now let's take a look at Big E's 3 keys of the game. I like that. I like this. This brings back the old. Vegas vibes.
Yeah, and again, it's not overthink this year, right? The 3 keys. It's it is preseason. Let's not panic and let's not be pretenders. But like Rudo said, let's start bringing it a little bit. Let's lock it down from goaltending on. But let's start with a little bit of passion. I didn't really see a lot of passion the last few games. Let's just bring it up a little bit so when next week comes, you're not caught off guard. I mean, it's time. There's only 2 games left, and let's move on. But let's play the game the right way a little bit. Number 2, chemistry. Who's with who? We talked about it. Is it Middlestat as the helicopter line, right? He has no wings right now, so let's see who's going to emerge as his 2 wingers. Develop like a little recipe within the combinations, right? Whether it's D pairing tonight, I think you'll see. I was going to say Dahan. I don't think he's playing, but again, you're going to see some pairings. You're going to see some stuff that you want to see, and you want to try to get the right combos, and their spots are open. Number 3, get in sync at 5-on-5. It's been a little bit all over. It's been a ham sandwich, or like Rudo says all the time, it's a little squirrely.
Have they played much 5-on-5?
Yeah, but get in sync at 5-on-5. That's my point. So let's not have some freaking penalties, but at 5-on-5, let's play the right way. Be creative in the offensive zone, but be sharp with your reads on the defensive zone. Face-off assignments on point. So let's make sure for the little that you're going to play at 5-on-5, you actually do it right.
For the 2 minutes tonight, that is a 5-on-5 hockey game?
Yes. And then I think goaltending's important. I touch on it later.
The secret key is less penalties, please.
We'll get
Jacks.
to the betting in a minute. I want to know what the over-under is on penalties called in this hockey
God.
game. Like,
Too many.
gosh. Ad nauseum.
So let's. It's
I like it.
preseason still, but let's play some real hockey.
Yeah.
How's that?
I'm going to hit on this. The boys need to clear the front of the net for Georgie. He's been beaten by a lot of shots from the point. Yeah. However, I mean, you got to... I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's part of it, but there's been a few there that he's probably wishes he had back.
I think there's a simpler equation here, too, in the way the Avs like to play defense. They can't score if you don't let them shoot.
Yeah.
So don't give up the shot in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
Game is not necessarily being streamed tonight. It's you can catch it on NHL Network coming up in about 15 minutes. All right, well, let's get to hockey in the Rockies, and then let's talk a little bit more about some decisions and sort of what is going to play itself out here in the next few days, because it is down to crunch time. But normally what we're going to have is hockey in the Rockies from you immediately following morning skate, but I was on a plane today, so we were a little late with it, but we had important business to take care of last night in Boston. But here is hockey in the Rockies with Gismo and Big E.
It's Big E and Gismo with you for Hockey in the Rockies morning skate edition, but a little delayed. I'm sorry, buddy. I was on a plane.
It's all good. It's all good. Boston?
Boston.
Something cooking?
We made a trip out to TD Garden yesterday.
Fair
We were there. We'll talk about it a little bit more later. Make sure you're tuning in. Of course, the Colorado Avalanche taking on the Vegas Golden Knights tonight in Vegas. We've got full DNVR apps coverage for you. It's gonna be fun. It's kind of like the second kind of time we've really done it.
Love it. The guys were at Family Sports this morning, right? One group, right? Because it's the numbers are getting there. Monday, gotta have your roster 23, right? You're down to the nitty gritty right now on the cuts. Low morning skate, a couple extra guys skated. I don't think you're gonna see Rantanen. You're not gonna see Makar. You're not gonna see McKinnon. Not gonna see Calvin DeHaan. I think you're going to see Taze, Drouin, guys that are making their first appearance. But they got on the flight. They don't come back till post-game Saturday night. So a little bonding trip there. And post-game tonight after the game, they're going to Utah. Spend a few days there. And like I said, it's good for the new guys. And looking forward to tonight. And it's on an NHL Network. So you get to see the game and get good camera angles and not like minor league angles.
It's a television broadcast TNT the other night. Okay, so I was on the plane when this news broke, and I couldn't get like internet access, but I had the Wi-Fi, and I texted you right away. The Belly news. I'm going to be honest, it shocked me. I was very surprised that they released him. I thought and would have put money on the fact that he was a lock to be on this team this year.
Yeah, and again, I thought so as well. I think everybody at the rink this morning that was there thought the same thing. Thought it was weird a little bit. When I say weird, again, we're not coaching the Avalanche. We're not the GM of the Avalanche, but we thought it was a lock. I thought it was a lock. Somewhere, somehow, they felt different. Wish him the best of luck. Good soldier, and hopefully he can tag along with somebody else in the league. We'll see. Obviously, he's a 39-year-old guy, so I don't know. I think it's 50-50. We'll see what happens to him, but nonetheless, good luck to him. And internally, the Avalanche, they do have some options they thought were better. Is it Parker Kelly? Is it Wagner? Is it Ivan? I think go look at AJ wrote the nice article there on the DNVR Avalanche. Yep. Go look at it. Gives you a little bit of options more in detail. And again, there's always the waiver wire. You got till Monday to write your roster. So we'll see what happens, and they're going to look at every option.
Does this change where we think Cal Ritchie fits into the lineup this year?
For me, no.
Okay.
For me, I've said it all along. If you're going to play him a fourth-line center and 8 minutes a night, I don't think that's where he fits. I don't think that's for the benefits of his career or the Avalanche, for that matter.
Yeah.
I think it's more he's got a different skill set. I don't see him there. But somewhere, somehow, that right now, you're getting to the numbers. Looks like he's going to get an opportunity to see what he can do and at least start the season here and go from there. You're going to remember, you got some holes to fill till Leckie gets back, and who knows what. Been talking about it since last year, right? Gabe? Val? Who knows?
Yeah. Last one for you. The goaltending situation. What do you want to see, buddy?
I understand it's preseason and everything, and I'm the first guy that's been staying on the pods and watch alongs with Rudo again. Come see us tonight. You'll be there, the three
I'm
of us.
hanging out tonight. Yeah, come to the DNVR Bar in Colfax, baby. Let's go.
DNVR Bar, let's go. And then Rudo's going to be doing the watch alongs as usual. It's fun. It's a great time. Actually, it's a great, fun way to watch hockey. But I know it's just a preseason game. I get that. But the Avalanche, if you look down the road, give and take 20 games until the end of November, right? We're going to get a better situation there on Val, Gabe, Lecky. What does that mean? They need good goaltending.
Yeah.
Actually, no, take that back. Cut, do it again. They need great goaltending.
Yeah, sure.
Can't have good goaltending.
Good isn't
You
going
need
to work.
great.
Yeah.
So now tonight, Eustace is probably going to get the full 60 minutes. Get a better outing than last time. I don't care if you win. Get a better outing. Make sure you're ready to go. This is your last time before the regular season starts. And Georgiev looks like he's going to get it Saturday. Get a better outing than the last game. Wasn't the best. Get going. Be ready for when the puck drops in Vegas again next Wednesday.
All right. Well, that is Hockey in the Rockies with Biggie and Gismo. Puck drops at, it's a late one tonight.
8 o'clock our time.
Eh.
I'll be sleeping. I'm kidding.
No, we'll stay away.
Be pumped.
We're
It'll be
hanging
fun.
out at the DNVR bar on Colfax. Make sure you come down. Rudo's there. Biggie's there. I am there. We're hanging out. We'll have our normal wrap for you, of course, afterwards also. So don't miss any of the action. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks for waiting for me to do this.
That's
Sorry.
right. I couldn't.
I told them to fly as quick as they could this morning.
Were you flying the plane?
I did not.
Oh,
I
yeah,
could have,
that's
though. I know flaps
Oh,
and
we all know
approach
that. Yeah,
speeds
yeah,
from
yeah.
this direction. We would have been just fine.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys later tonight. That's it for Hockey in the Rockies. Vegas Golden Knights versus Avalanche edition.
So I wanted to jump off of Eric's thoughts about the Bellmare situation there because you mentioned it. Look, I think, number one, this means the Avs have faith in Parker Kelly being able to be that 4 seed. They said they were going to try him there. He's playing there tonight. I think they can fill that role, but I think what this might be more about is Cal Ritchie. And I don't mean Cal Ritchie at center. With the loss of Bellmare in that battle for spots, if you slide Parker Kelly over to C, that leaves a fourth-line wing spot open. You drop Miles Wood down, and now you have a third-line wing spot available for someone like Cal Ritchie, giving him more opportunities to find spots in this lineup. Now, Ritchie still is going to have to earn it. He's still going to have to do what he needs to do in his 9-game test, or whatever you want to call that. But I think this is another avenue to get Ritchie success.
I totally agree with you. The only thing I'm going to add is, as much as we know how coaches are creatures of habits and stuff like that, right? His first line of Mac, Mikko, and Drouin, and then that third line of Colton, O'Connor, and Wood. We all know he doesn't like to break those things up. Forget about tonight. I'm talking about in the regular season.
Yep.
But I think in the situation they're in, with Lehkonen, Gabe, Val, I think he might have to. And I think it plays into the point you just talked about. So I agree with you. That's well said. I think you're going to have to see a little bit of a breakup there for the time being.
We're going to talk through that while we have our watch along, but let's move on to our betting segment presented by Bet365, who I'm a huge fan of right now because they're making me money.
Yeah.
Talk to me, Rudo.
Go get your bets on Bet365, but I had a theme tonight because as much as I love Bet365, you should not bet on preseason hockey.
Right.
Don't do that. Instead, bet on futures.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Got the Avs to win the cup. It boosted to plus 1,200 right now. Pretty good money there. If you want to go totally crazy, I thought it'd be hilarious if the Avs beat Toronto in the finals. So that's plus 10,000 to take those two as your finals.
Love it.
And then maybe one that might be a little bit more realistic. Nathan McKinnon to lead the NHL in shots on goal, plus 300. He's always one of the highest volume shooters in the league. So,
Oh, boy. Okay.
some long odds betting on that.
I like it. I just had dinner with the marketing ladies from Bet365. Awesome people. It was awesome.
There
Great
you go.
company. I'm excited. And I told them that we are very active on our bets here. And we're looking forward to a fun year with it. It's going to be fun.
So asking for a friend about
okay.
a friend. So say a friend bets on say a friend is really into like the betting on Bet365 and is maybe potentially betting on preseason
It might
stuff.
potentially be named Nick.
What would you say to that person? I mean, is that person okay or
Hey, if you
Or
bet
do-
smart, you can make money.
Yeah.
But preseason's an adventure.
Got it. Check.
You watched the 6-1 game the other night. That's all I'm saying.
Would you have thought?
Yeah,
right? You would have bet the other way.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Glad I didn't bet on that one.
I think tonight it's like minus 250 for Vegas.
Bet365, we love you. They're our partner. Hey, remember, if you are going to bet, you must be 21 plus and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Make sure you're doing it responsibly, guys. All right, well, hey, listen, we got to watch along. We got
Yes,
to get to
sir.
here. We're going to be with you I'm excited. It's my first one. So yeah, stick with us. Tell your friends. If you're here at the bar, mention us in the chat or whatnot, and we'll come down and say hello, and maybe we'll bring you out, give you a tour, show you the space.
Always.
So,
Come
yeah,
say
we
hi.
can do
if you're
that.
down
Can't
here.
we can do that?
Yeah.
We can do that?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's do that.
We can do
All right.
anything.
Avs taking on the Vegas Golden Knights from Sin City. Ease and I, former home, and that's where we met.
Is that St. Louis? Sin City? I thought they were in Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas. Sin City was St. Louis for a different reason. Remember,
I
we
feel
said
like you
and
have
me.
you have sinned if you ended up in St. Louis, probably.
Well, we talked about not talking about that publicly, remember, buddy? It's supposed to be between us. Now it's all with you, too. Watch Along starts in 5 minutes, and the game is on NHL Network. Watch along with us. I love it. Make sure you're active in the chat as well. We'll talk to you in just a few.
We all silly like the mayor.